Yeah, so initially we were going to buy our steel from this website, but then George at the last minute found this steel place called Rochester Steel, and we show up and everyone's all manly and they're all covered in steel dust, but there's this gecko walking around, and the gecko told us that 15 easy minutes are going to save us 15% or more on our steel purchase, so that sounded pretty good, so that's where we ended up buying our steel. And there was a guy with a manly saw. Unfortunately, the gecko died in the saw accident. It was really unfortunate, kind of traumatizing for us, but we were able to get the steel at a really good price.
Man, Chippett thought he was so cool, trying to ghost ride all the time. Problem is, he just can't drive his own car.
Look, I was a professional driver for 5 years, but that just wasn't exciting enough for me. I traveled to San Francisco, where they taught me how to ghost ride, you know, Bay Area. I've ghost ridden in Iceland, I've ghost ridden in Israel and in Greece, all 50 states. I ghost ride everywhere I go. In fact, I ghost rode halfway to the competition before I found out it was over, because I can only walk about 4 miles an hour next to my car. Okay, ghost riding is really what I do.
You know what I can do? Attach 2 metal bars permanently. Sort of. I got the manliest sunburn ever. A weld sunburn. George thought he could weld too. So what?
Yeah, Chase always wished that I didn't know how to weld so fast. He came from Texas, knew how to do his arc welding. I picked up that TIG, picked it up in like 3 days, no big deal.
You know, everyone didn't think that I did a lot with this car, but you know, I think a pretty good contribution was those wheels. You know, and everybody didn't appreciate them the way I did. They were solid 9-inch little girl bike wheels, and we rode the heck out of those things. And I don't know, they were cool. I liked them. Nobody else did.
Going down the hill, steering with the broomstick duct taped on, worked so well that we decided to make a glorified version of it.
So we all thought George was going to drive the Soapbox, but after his intoxicated display the first night, we just couldn't let him get behind the wheel.
Nick never trusted me. I was just trying to prove that the steering was going to be really good for the race. Everyone says that it looked like I was drunk driving, but trust me, I was not drunk. Our car was meant to go fast and turn sharp.
So we got 2 weeks left, and we had basically built our frame, had our steering and our braking, and then we just needed to build a body. And then there was a rough week with some tests, and still needed a body. We got to 2 days left and still no body. Thank God we had some free Red Bull.
Chase was super anal about the painter's tape. I had to pass a 5-hour course that he taught me while we should have been building, just in order for him to let me tape straight lines. The curve course would have taken an additional 7 hours, he said, so I didn't feel it was worth it.
Yeah, we finally got that car done, on the wheels of peace and love.
Yeah, because of the top secret nature of this whole operation, we kind of wanted to get a couple test runs in before dawn, just so nobody would really see it, you know. So we had to make sure that we got them in, you know, pretty late. So that was cool.
So our initial plan for transportation of the craft down to Providence was to rent a U-Haul trailer and attach it to one of our sedans. Unfortunately, when we went to the U-Haul office, they told us that this would result in melting our transmissions and completely ripping our frames apart. So we had to find a new plan really fast. Luckily, I was able to find this place called Uncle Joe's Truck Leasing, and Uncle Joe was able to give us a really good deal on a truck. Loading the craft into the truck, however, was a little more difficult than we thought it would be. It took about 2.5 hours, and we had to disassemble our car piece by piece after we had spent 6 hours a night prior to that assembling it. So it was tough.
We get to the hotel, and Willett just won't stop juggling. In the lobby, in the room, in the elevator. I don't know, what's his deal? There was this one car there, looked like a lobster, I guess. I'm from Maine, that was no lobster. Looked way more like a ladybug. They had this one car that was a wrestling ring. That car was pretty sweet, but it went down the hill just like the WWF.
Wow. Okay, so I'm sitting on the ground right now. We got fire on the mountain. Everyone's feeling pretty peaceful, feeling good. So, what are you racing for today?
We're racing for peace and love, man. We gotta spread it throughout the world, man.
Peace children right here.
Right in the man, too. We gotta put him down. We're gonna get down this hill as well.
You're gonna get down the hill and you're gonna do it well?
Yeah, but we're gonna spread that peace.
Okay. Let's take the skid.
So our skit, well, we kind of made it up about 5 minutes before on the way down to the ramp. Granted, it's terrible, but for planning it in 5 minutes, not bad. Except Mike wouldn't come out front and center for when he was juggling. Then he wouldn't get out of the way.
Love out here. That's not easy to do.
Before we went up, they told me that I was going to juggle to the side of the car and everyone was going to go on, but then very last second we all changed and they moved us around, so like I had no idea what was going on for the whole thing, so.
They're getting into the VW bus.
All right, 4 wheels, some steering, some milk crates inside that they're sitting on, a lot of paper.
And peace signs in the air.
Yeah, so after watching all those other people crash and going down the hill, I was like, what was their problem? This is so easy. I was like, la-di-da-di-da, di-da-di-da.
George, Will, Mike, and Chase Henson at the helm.
Before the race, Chase and I were pretty sure we were going to crash on the 3rd or 4th turn, but once we got going, we realized our car was a lot more stable than we thought, and even though Chase wanted me to hit the brakes a little bit, I decided it wasn't that necessary, so we went a little faster than Chase wanted, but he had to man up and drive the car. No big deal.
Well, if there's any Grateful Dead fans in the house, they know.
Yeah, at the end I was like, okay, we should start braking now, George. And he was like, it's okay, it's okay.
Taking over, we're gonna run down there and see what the boys think. I smell rubber. Can you smell the rubber? You just said an F-bomb, bad on you, take it back. What do you think? The rubber, were you hot on the brake?
Yeah, it was groovy, man.
You're super groovy. Grateful Dead or Fish?
Grateful Dead, man.
All the way fire on the mountain?
Yeah, Deadhead, man. Deadhead.
Now, we're gonna go up to the judges and we want to see what they think. What do you think?
All right, we never know from these judges. Judges, what are you thinking on this one? Let's see, we have a 5. We have a 5, we have a 3, and what's the last one? Gary? A 4. I don't know, kind of low. Hopefully this next one will bring it.
That was intense. How do you feel? How do you feel?
Groovy, man.
Yeah. There's George. Let's see how he feels.
Derek,
how you feeling?
awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
That was really fun.
That was great. You see the judges?
No,
They were shitty.
Really?
They fucking sucked.
Oh, well.
It's all right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
You can listen to the tape. I did not drop an F-bomb. I don't know what this guy's talking about. I'm above that. I'm more mature than that. I know I can't represent our school that way. I would never do that.
And those costumes, they were great. The tie-dye, the bandana, I love that. But the best part was the girls' jeans. It's all I wear now. So comfortable.
She's only another mile. Thank you, driver, for getting me here. You'll be an inspector, have no fear.